Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal experiences and struggles having borderline personality disorder. I talk about anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar. I talk about all the different therapies out there and unethical therapists that I've had in the past, my past life and my past traumas, but I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot give you a diagnosis, and I can't offer you a professional opinion. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button down below on the right because it's 100% free. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up because it helps me to learn what people like and what they don't like. I only ask of you one thing, though. Please be kind in the comments. Be kind to me. Be kind to other people who comment. We don't need to agree on everything, right? But we do need to show each other respect always and kindness. Please be free to share your own personal struggles and experiences if you wish to. I always appreciate people who do that, and I will reply to every comment. Today I'm going to talk about social anxiety. Do you have social anxiety? I have social anxiety. In fact, I have crippling social anxiety. Social anxiety is not the same as being shy, okay? If someone says I'm shy, it doesn't mean necessarily that they have social anxiety. Social anxiety is a real, mental health disorder. It's crippling, okay? People have an extreme fear of being judged by other people. And it can be so crippling that they avoid social situations like I do altogether, okay? Completely avoid it. It's not the same as someone being like a loner who wants to be alone, or someone who's introverted. That's not what social anxiety is. So let's get to the meat and bones of what social anxiety is. When you have social anxiety, you feel extremely self-conscious. You feel that other people are judging you, So much so that when you have conversation with someone or someone talks to you, you will play that back in your head over and over and over again after the fact. And you will feel, guilty or bad or very shameful if you thought you said one word out of place. You feel, I'm just saying how I feel. I feel stupid. I feel shameful. I feel people are going to judge me. I'll play back something that someone said, a conversation that someone said to me, like over and over and over again in my head. I'll play back what I said, and then I'll feel very stupid. I'll kick myself. You know how you kick yourself saying, oh, what an idiot. I can't believe I said that, like I put my foot in my mouth. But I'll kick myself so bad that I'll end up in a deep depression. I won't want to leave the house. I'll feel so tormented. And this is what social anxiety does. If you're meeting new people, if you have to give a speech like in school, oh my God, I don't know why teachers ever do that. It's bad enough, being in school and being judged by your peers. But why do teachers have to make sure that, kids stood up in front of the class and presented? My Latin teacher did that. We had to present our Latin project in school. We had to stand up in front of 30, 40 people in the class and present our project. I know they do this a lot in college, but they did this in high school too. And it just like, I couldn't sleep the night before. My mind would go blank. So I couldn't, present my project. I'd end up forgetting half the things, even though I had notes and everything. You could use some, cards, index cards with notes on it. But my mind would go blank, you know how you, like a deer in the headlights, you freeze? I would freeze because I'd be so overcome with anxiety, like standing up in front of my class, my peers, that I'd end up getting like a D or an F on the project because I just couldn't do it. Now, not only that, but you have physical symptoms. Social anxiety, like I said, the mind and body tie together. This is what's happened to me. I started having physical symptoms. So I had irritable bowel syndrome, which makes you have diarrhea, constant diarrhea, or constipation, or back and forth between the two. Gastroesophageal disease, GERD, where the acid from your stomach comes up into your esophagus. It can lead to, severe heartburn, severe chest pain, difficulty swallowing, feeling like the food is getting caught in your throat, having spasms. They're really painful. It's one of the worst pains. Like when you have a spasm, if you ever had GERD, it feels like you can't eat, you can't swallow, because your esophagus is having a spasm, so no food will pass, and it's extreme pain. I've had it. You have severe stomach aches, you feel bloated, you have headaches, you have migraines. All this ties into having the social anxiety, being put in a position, where you feel like you're in the spotlight, you feel like people are judging you, you're afraid you're going to say the wrong thing, you're afraid you're going to feel stupid. Let me tell you how bad my social anxiety is. When I'm around people, even someone I know, like an acquaintance, all right, they can ask me a question, like, can I have your phone number so we can I'll call you, we'll get together. And I won't remember my own phone number because my mind will freeze. Like I said, like a deer in the headlights. I will have such extreme social anxiety that my brain freezes, and I won't remember. Like I've had people ask me, what college does your son go to? And I was so I had such social anxiety that I forgot. Honest to God, like my mind will freeze. It's seriously, it's like when a car is coming and the deer is in the middle of the road and sees the car coming. The deer can't move out of fear. The deer is frozen. The deer just stands there and dies they freeze. They, instead of running, because here's a car coming, instead of running, I just freeze, and my mind freezes. And when my mind freezes, it goes blank. So even though you'll ask me questions, obviously I know the answer to, but at that moment, because I'm under I have extreme social anxiety, my mind will blank. I will not be able to answer you. That's how bad mine is. And this was really, really horrible. When I first got married, I was an only child. My husband he was one of four. He had three brothers. He was the baby out of four brothers, okay? He was the baby, and he had three brothers, so he was one out of four. And his parents were huge social creatures. Humongous, okay? They always held parties. They always entertained. They were heavy drinkers. They had over an acre of land, and they had a big in-ground swimming pool with a big slide and a diving board and cabanas, several cabanas where you could change, and this big over an acre of land, not including the pool, going up to the pool. And they always threw parties with tons and tons of people, and they were always celebrating. The brothers were married, so it was either, someone's birthday, either the parents' birthday, the brother's birthday, or the brother's wife's birthday, or when the children came along, the kid's birthday, or an anniversary they celebrate. They always celebrated big, 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 big. So anyway, it was big. Like when I wasn't even married, Andrew's brother's wife at the time was turning 30, and she had a big party at her at her house, and like all these people, I don't know his brother's wife, and then all her friends came. I don't know her friends. I don't know any of these people. I know my future in-laws were there, and I know Andrew's brothers, but that's about it. Everyone else at the party, like all her friends and all her family and everything, I didn't know. I just sat there frozen, like scared shit. Sometimes a few drinks will unwind me, which that's why, I'll have a couple of drinks, and it will. That's why people drink and abuse substances. A lot of people do. I'm not speaking for everyone, but people who have social anxiety will often abuse substance, especially alcohol. Why? Because alcohol is a social drink, all right? There was tons of booze at this party, okay? Everyone was drinking. So if I had a few drinks, no one's going to bat an eye, because the booze and the food flowed, okay? So after having a couple of drinks, it helped me relax. But then what happens is you rely on drinks to socialize. In other words, you can't socialize at all unless you have drinks, unless you're drinking, And so it becomes a crutch, and so it becomes a habit, because, you depend on it to relax you and make you more confident in social situations. And a lot of people, including myself, that have social anxiety will turn to alcohol as a crutch to help them, So also another thing with social anxiety, like I said, the physical symptoms is like, excessive sweating, getting red in the face, which I always do. And then people will point this out, which is so embarrassing. They'll say, "You're blushing." It's not just shy people who blush, but also people who suffer social anxieties. They'll get embarrassed very easily. And then they're aware of it, and it makes it even worse. When people are aware that you're blushing, or you're sweating, or you're shaking, or it makes it 100 times worse, because not only it's bad enough that you're aware of yourself doing it, but then when you see that other people are aware that you're doing it, then it's like, oh my God, what are they going to think about me? I wish the floor would open up and just swallow me. I felt that so many times. Eventually, I stopped going to all the family get-togethers, both on my side of the family and my husband's side of the family. I wouldn't go with him. Like, they'd have big 4th of July parties where they have big barbecues. Everyone would be around the pool, like I said, with my in-laws. My in-laws would have a 4th of July party, and like they had over an acre of land, so they'd have hundreds of people, inside the house, outside the house, everyone splashing in the pool. They had a huge in-ground pool, like with a slide, like I told you, and a diving board. So like, and the booze was flowing, the food was flowing. And I just couldn't bring myself to go anymore. I was just too embarrassed. I felt like it was just like, it was so stressful. I couldn't enjoy myself, It was just too stressful, And, that's how it is. Now, sometimes therapy helps with that, going to therapy. Sometimes they have anxiety medication. I don't believe in either therapy or anxiety medication. Now, if therapy or anxiety medication work for you and help you, great, awesome, not putting you down. If it works for you, do it, but I would never want to be, you're not supposed to mix alcohol anyway with anxiety medication. You can't mix the two. And I just don't like taking those kind of drugs. I don't take any drugs. I don't even take recreational drugs. The only thing I do is the alcohol, which is considered a drug anyway. But so the way that I dealt with social anxiety is by running away, avoidance. I would avoid all social, interactions. I wouldn't socialize. I don't socialize. I don't go to parties. I don't go to. I never went to nightclubs when I was dating. I just avoid all family get-togethers, so I didn't have to deal with it. So I use avoidance. It's much healthier if you use therapy or if you use anxiety drugs, and that helps you, so you don't have to avoid people. But I've come to learn in my old age that people just, bring drama and drama. This is what people have caused me in my life. Trauma and drama. So I'm better off not around people. So I'm much happier in nature. Here I am. And, around animals, birds. I love bird watching. I love feeding the birds, putting out the bird bath, changing the water several times a day so they can take a nice bath and they have plenty to drink, and feed the birds, have a bird feeder. And I just sit on my deck. I have a huge oak tree in my yard, and there's bunny rabbits and so cute cottontails, and that's how I like it. I don't like to be around people. So I just avoid people. So I avoid the problem. So the social anxiety doesn't bother me because I don't socialize. Don't socialize, there's no social anxiety. It's gone because I don't socialize. Since COVID, a lot of people work from home, so they don't have to go in the office anymore, right? I mean, COVID is over, but people still work from home. My husband works full-time from home, so he doesn't socialize at all. My son works full-time from home and goes to school, getting his master's. But he got his bachelor's at Merrimack College. He lived there. He went to the dorms, so he did socialize there. But now he's getting his master's online. He's working full-time online. I write books and do these videos. I get paid to write, people buy my books. On Amazon, I'm monetized on YouTube, so I get an income doing these videos. I can talk to gazillions of people, but still be all, by myself doing it. I'm here alone talking to you. Anyone can see this video. 200 people, 1,000 people. Some of my videos, one video, I think it's the chop suey one, has 18,000 people who saw it. 18,000. Yet I did that video in my bathroom all alone. And I'm pretty sure it has 18,000. It's the most viewed video I have, chop suey. Yeah, from System of Down. That's when I used to do my karaoke, so. But I can do what I love to do, and I don't need, I can do it alone, okay? And millions of people can see it. I mean, 1 million people haven't seen my videos, but, thousands of people have seen them. So that's how it is. That's my way of doing things, and so far I'm happy with it. Works for me anyway. My life works for me. I hope that you make your life work for you. And please comment and share if you have social anxiety. If you do, How do you deal with the social anxiety? Are you in therapy? Do you take medication? Do you use avoidance like me and more isolate yourself? Do you work from home? Do you feel that that's helped your social anxiety? Has it made it worse? Just let me know. Share your experiences with me, and we'll have an open and ongoing dialogue where we both can learn from each other.